Big Dash knows what?
Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? That the New York Giants had a hard day today. It was rough for the New York Giants today. Daniel Jones and the offense did horribly today. That's what the reports are saying. That's what I'm hearing out of, the Twitterverse, the Twitter streets and things like that. I'm hearing out how bad the New York Giants looked on offense and defense. So again, I'm checking all the updates. Of course, I'm over exaggerating right now, but that is pretty much what a lot of people were saying. If you're reading what's going on, you're hearing about how bad the New York Giants looked. Now, here's the thing. I'm not here to defend a bad practice. You can't defend a bad practice. What's the purpose of defending a bad practice? What I would do is pump the brakes for a lot of people. And what I'm seeing, depending on where people stand, is some people are excited that the New York Giants had a bad practice. Some people are saying, I told you so. Some people are taking victory laps. Some people are saying to pump the brakes. Some people are saying a lot of different things. And here, feel how you want to feel. I'm going to give you my opinion of the practice from what I've been reading. And here, there's no excuses. From what I've seen from the New York Giants so far in training camp when we were practicing against ourselves, is that the offense was able to move the ball pretty much at will. And now the first time we get a new look against a different defense, we don't look as good as we did against our own team. Now let's take a step back and think about what that really means. So it could mean a few things. And again, this is just my opinion on things. In the video that I put out a couple of weeks ago, actually probably a couple months ago now, is that, who I felt the weaker link was between the offense and the defense. And at that time, I said I have more concerns and questions about the defense than I do about this offense. Now, we did see that the offense was able to make some plays. There are some highlights up there. We got Saquon Barkley that made a play. We had Darren Waller that made some plays. Also heard that Jalin Hyatt was getting open. Also today, we had a few drops and a few sacks and stuff like that. So yeah, it wasn't the prettiest practices, but there were still some points in that practice where plays were being made. And the people that we hoped to make plays were the guys that made them. Saquon Barkley, Paris Campbell, Jalin Hyatt. These guys were making those plays. And on the defensive side, I'm hearing that the defense struggled. So another thing that happened today is that the unofficial depth chart came out. And it had some surprises on there to me. They have Darnay Holmes starting in the slot. And then we heard reports today that Darnay Holmes was getting abused in the one-on-one drills against the Detroit Lions. And we're hearing that in 11-on-11, 7-on-7, pretty much the same thing, where the guy is just getting beat often. And it's like, okay, when does the experiment stop? When do we allow what needs to happen? I didn't see any reports on Cordell Flott, how he did today. Again, this is right after the practice. I'm pretty sure the guys that were actually on the field, in the building, seeing the practices, guys like Talking Giants, LPG, guys that, people that have media passes, I'm pretty sure those reports will come out soon, and then I will absolutely be tuned in for that. But just me going off of Twitter, just want to get a quick response to this practice. I'm saying Darian Beavers listed as the starter next to Bobby Okereke, but then when the practice started, according to Justin Pinnock, Micah McFadden was actually the one running with the ones first. So that's something to look at. Jason Pinnock listed as the starting safety next to Xavier McKinney. We pretty much figured that thing out. Now let's talk about the offense. So Ezeudu did not start at left guard today. John Michael Schmitz did start at center. And then Glowinski, of course, was right guard. Now, on the official or unofficial depth chart, I'm seeing that Joshua Ezeudu is listed as the second string right guard. And again, we want to see these guys figure out who's going to be that starting lineup for the offensive line. They're playing around with a bunch of different lineups, but at the end of practice, you saw that same lineup that everybody is pretty much rooting for, where you saw Ezeudu at left guard, Schmitz at center, and Bredesen at right guard. So we did get a chance to see that look, later on in practice. But overall, it wasn't the best practice. And I always say this as just maybe not an explanation, but one thing that I like to share is this. When you put bad tape out, it gives you the chance to learn off of your mistakes. If all of your tape is clean and you go to review your film and everybody's doing the right things, and that, you tend not to pay attention to, what you could do to be better when you're already doing things right. When you're making mistakes, when you're getting beat, when you're not showing the best reps or giving the best reps, this gives you a time to see that during the film session, take notes, make corrections, and then tomorrow with the next joint practice that we have against the Lions, we can see exactly what's going on there. So tomorrow, these guys need to be better. Again, I'm not in here just trying to defend the New York Giants because they had a bad practice. They had a bad practice. A bad practice is a bad practice. You should not have to defend a bad practice. I'm assuming that a lot of people would know that practice is what practice is. And again, this is the first practice against a new look. Now, you could say it on the flip side. This was the first time the Detroit Lions had a new look, and they looked fantastic. Well, last year's Lions offense was fantastic. They have one of the best offensive lines as well, too. And until I see the reports of what happened in 11-on-11, because I did see that that the defense did perform better in 11-on-11 versus 7-on-7, and that's pretty much expected. And when you have the trenches, which the New York Giants defense, the strength is in the trenches. And once you added, the trenches to those drills, the New York Giants fared a lot better against that Lions offense. So take everything with a grain of salt. Obviously, people are going to overreact. Some people will underreact, and you're going to see it all day on Twitter. So when you're reading this stuff and you're seeing all the comments, relax, take a step back, and think about the good of today. Again, they got a lot of good tape that they can review. Not saying that the tape was good, but they got a lot of examples of things that they need to correct, improve, and make better, for the next practice. So I expect the New York Giants to make their adjustments when the second practice tomorrow. Again, it's going to be padded, and I expect to see some things look a lot better than what they did today. And again, it wasn't all bad. No matter what Twitter tells you, I was believing it too. I tried to search for some Detroit Lions beat writers. Shout out to Alex Big Blue in the Bronx. He was able to get me to a Detroit Lions beat writers page where I can see some reports saying that yes, the Detroit Lions did win the practice, but the Giants had their spots as well. So it's good to see that. And again, just trying to share that information for everybody that's tuned in here. And I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. So I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.